I'm privileged to be here with Felicity, your avid adventurer, explorer, scientist, speaker, and you've just done some incredible challenges, marathons in the Sahara, skiing solo across Antarctica, first female expedition across Greenland. Like, what can you not do, really?
I can't cook.
There we go, that's one thing. So tell me, what was the most challenging out of all of those?
Well, each of them sort of is challenging in their own way. So some of the expeditions, for example, the one going alone across Antarctica, it was about dealing with that solitude and with the scale of that challenge for me. And then there are other expeditions like the team expedition across Greenland or the International Women's Expedition to the South Pole, where the challenge has been in creating that team and keeping that team together. So for me personally, it's a challenge as a leader as well as a challenge physically and mentally, like every other member of that team. So each one, I like to think that when I put together an expedition, it's challenging in a new way for me, so that each time I'm pushing myself in some form or another in a different way. It's got to have that interest.
Yeah. And what inspires you to keep leading these expeditions and consulting all these various others as well?
I think if I had to sum it up in a word, it's curiosity. I sort of start thinking about things. I think, what would it be like if, could this be possible? Is it possible to do X, Y, Z? And curiosity about the people I travel with too. So the most recent expedition, the Arabian North Pole expedition, it was about my personal curiosity about the lives of women in the Middle East and why there seems to me to be a sort of lack of relationship between women in Europe and the Middle East. And so that was the seed of the idea that then sort of grew into an expedition, and that tends to be what happens each time.
It worked out so well, though. It's fantastic hearing their stories here tonight. What would you say is your proudest moment?
Oh gosh, there are so many proud moments, but I think still when I receive an email from someone who's heard about one of these expeditions or has read one of the books, or and they're saying things like, I always wanted to learn a language and now I read your book and I got my act together and did it, or I've always wanted to start a business, or I've always wanted to run a marathon and I've just done my first 10k. And the idea that something you have done has influenced someone else to do something they really want to do, that's amazing. And if you just make a small difference, then I believe that's a great contribution.
Is that what you hope to achieve today at the Women's Adventure Expo?
Well, just generally across the board with the expeditions as well. I'm very troubled by the fact that right now I live in a world where not every woman is free to make her own choices in life. And I feel a responsibility to do something about that. And I'm not a politician, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an aid worker. So what can I do? Well, I thought, if I turn what I do well into addressing this subject somehow, if every woman did that, turned what they did really well into making it a better place for other women out there, so I hope that's what I'm doing in my own way by putting together these expeditions to inspire others to do whatever it is they want to do. So that's my small contribution.
Well, it's a fantastic one. And would you have any advice for someone if someone's thinking about doing something that's going to push their boundaries?
Start. Absolutely start. There is never going to be a perfect set of circumstances, and it is too easy to say, I will just wait until this is right or that is right or the economic situation is right, or there's 100 million reasons, but just start. You just have to make yourself make that first step, and then you'll find that you'll gain momentum, and before you know it, you'll be on the star line.
Wonderfully inspirational words. Thank you so much for talking to us.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.